make some Forever Succulents with me. So right here we have Sweet Snuggles Light. And right here we have it in Parfait Chunky. Now you're going to see later on I added a few more leaves to this to give it a more full look. Here are the materials you'll need. Now just keep in mind if you're going to be making a lot of them, I recommend getting the fish rocks and just washing them off and using those because they're a lot cheaper. So let's get started. Okay, here we're going to put glue around the inside of the pot, and then you're going to take the half ball and put it in there and give it a nice press so it's nice and secure. So right here we're adding hot glue to the top. You're going to do it in about inch increments so that the glue doesn't dry when you're putting the rocks. Make sure you give them a nice good press down so that they stick, and wipe any loose ones and fill in any gaps that you see. Here again I will wipe it to make sure I didn't miss any areas and get all loose rocks off. Alright, so now that we have that all good, we're going to start by adding the large leaves, and we're going to be putting the pins in, making sure that the tips overlap and that the pin goes through both corners. You're going to do this all the way around, making sure that you're leaving enough room for the small leaves to go in, and making sure when you're pressing the pins that they go into both corners. And there we go. So now let's get started with the small leaves. You're going to be doing the same thing. You're just going in between the big leaves, but you're overlapping the corners again, making sure the pin goes through both pieces. If you're realizing that they're not fitting as well as you want, then you might need to take them apart and move the big leaves back a little further so that there's more room for the small leaves to go in. There we go. So now we have the small leaves, and now it's time for the centerpiece. So the loose ends of the centerpiece, you're going to want those to aim down. Fill in the center with hot glue and around the bottom row of the small leaves. Make sure when putting the centerpiece in that you have those loose ends tucked and that they press down into the hot glue so that none of them sneak out. There you have it. So now here I'm going to hot glue a little bit behind each leaf. These are the big leaves and the small leaves. Now I do this for the extra security of holding it to the pot because every time I hand these out, people always pick them up by the leaves. I don't know why, but this just helps adhere all of it to the pot so that none of the leaves are going to pop out. I also like to add, as you can see here, a little bit behind the purple just so that it helps hide the pins, as you could see right there, and then this just gives it a more neat look. So now you're going to pull any loose hot glue strings away from the pot, making it all nice and neat, and adding any rocks if you missed any spots, and there you have it. So just like I mentioned before with Parfait Chunky, you might want to add 4 more leaves. You can see here that I don't, and then right here I added the 4 extra large leaves to give it a more full look. So there you have it. Here are the Forever Succulents, and I can't wait to see all the color choices you make, and I hope you have fun.